All right, what's up? Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a little video lesson as this play is still running. Nice actually breakout. It looks like I just sold it a little too carefully yet again. This is NRBO. Stocks to trade breaking news. Alerted the news. Where was it? Right here. They got some positive FDA news and then, some follow-up articles. But you can see clearly, from the 3s to the 7 actually nearly range. Big spike initially. It's coming down now. Maybe I didn't play it too safe. Whether I played it too safe or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to change. But you can see here the big initial spike coming down all the way to 4. So, this thing has massive range. But you can also see there's some like follow-up news and some follow-up spikes. Really good. I think this is probably like the best piece of news because it was downtrending with the pre-market news, but then they said this. Just show you the news so you can understand, because not all news is created equal. They basically said this. They're testing phase 1 of the Wegovy rival. In case you don't know, Wegovy and what is it? There's 2 weight loss drugs, Wegovy and Ozempic. It's Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, some weird, European company. But both of them have been very much on fire. Okay, really, really hot sector. In hindsight, I probably should have bought those and held on to them because, everyone wants to lose weight, right? But these guys are just a little wannabe, but they're starting, to test a rival. And, let me get rid of the news because it's interrupting my chart. 1 sec. Maybe 1 month won't show it. I'll just go with 2 days. You can see the initial spike, long story short, and then the respike. And the question is, when do you buy it, right? Like, if you buy the initial spike, that's cool, but it's coming down, it's scary. What if you get in, you're all excited, Wegovy, wannabe biotech spiking up, and you buy it anywhere in the 6s or the 5s, and it comes all the way down to the 4s. And you're like, whoa. This is all pre-market, mind you. You might not be too prepared for that volatility. But since the market opened, that's a different story. So I think it's good to, put stocks like this on your watch list. I just made roughly 1,000 or actually like $800 between the two of them now, 13K on the year. But I want you to pay attention. I specifically said in the pre-market watch list and in my past 2 video lessons, giant intraday runners, as long as you remember to lock in profits and not overstay. Remember, short sellers aren't wrong that these companies will drop substantially in price, but many shorts are too aggressive. And that opens the door to giant squeezes, especially early in the day. So that's why I look to buy high of the day breakouts. It's a really simple strategy. It's really working right now. I know many of you just want morning panic dip buys. I guess you could have, done it. NRHI finally collapsed and it opened down in the 1s and it bounced back to the 4s. So nice little double if you want a dip buy. But that's a scary stock, very illiquid stock. NRBO I think is just easier. And for me, when I'm trading these things, I want them to boom. But today so far and really yesterday, we didn't see like the huge 300, 500% runners that we saw earlier in the week and last week. So you just have to kind of adapt. But I locked in my 5%. Decent little winner, just thinking that it could, really go and really spike. And it kind of got toppy in here. It couldn't really, break this resistance. And, by the way, if you're looking for plays on a dip, maybe not panic dip buys, but you're looking for, dip buys and you're looking to see where there might be resistance, look back at recent price action. Like, you don't know, but here, it had resistance at 5, and then it tried to bounce, and it had some resistance here at like 515, 520-ish. Comes all the way back down to 4. What is that resistance? Not really 5, but like 515 again. Even here, and I got out when it was just toppy because I was like, let me just take my 5%. In case you don't know, like, I'm back in Asia. I know my social media is delayed, so everyone's confused, but we have a new school announcement coming tomorrow. I'm actually going to the community, so I'm really excited. I'm filming this around 11:30 at night. So I know how crazy it is, but I trade better at night, jet lagged, when I don't want to trade. I didn't want to trade NRBO. Very choppy, very scary. But when it looked like it was uptrending in here, I thought that it could go more. So that's really the key. But it also was toppy here. And I look at past resistance at 515, 520-ish. I don't want that. Even here, when it tried to bounce, you had a 1 minute candle, giant sellers where it did break the day high, or the high during normal market hours. So I'm sure if I was short, I would have covered here. If I was really looking to trade, which I'm not because I'm tired and jet lagged, which helps, I would have bought this breakout. Whether I covered here or bought this breakout, it was a fake out, and you have to be aware of that. This is why I only make a few trades a day. If you trade enough, you will encounter, or get stuck in one of these fake outs, whether you're shorting to cover and cut losses, which I think would be a good thing because you don't know if it's a fake out or a breakout, or if you go long, oftentimes you buy the breakout attempt and it's a fake out. But I like that this fake out really, cleared the air. Any wannabe short sellers probably covered in here. Any wannabe breakout buyers probably bought and sold here. And then you get another attempt at a breakout. And it's the next attempted breakout that I did a better trade on. So, didn't really do that much on the first one. Second one, again, I'm not waiting necessarily for the breakout. This is very similar to the trade on AUVI a few weeks ago. I'm buying it like 10 cents a share off the breakout because these low float, fast moving stocks, if you do wait for the breakout, either A, you're going to buy a fake out like this, or B, you won't get filled. AUVI, if you go back and watch that video I did, traveling actually helped me there too, because it was a weekend play and I bought it around like 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m., which is not usually the case for me, but I was literally flying, legitimately trading from the airport. So I didn't wait for the breakout on this one. I'm not looking to trade right now. I'm not at the airport. I'm just tired. I got to wake up in like 4.5 hours to go surprise this community with a new school, which I love doing. I'm excited. But not looking to trade. And not looking to trade prevented me from this. I know that some people got faked out in this. I already got a few questions. It's so important to not look to trade, okay? Where I saw this and I was like, whoa, glad I'm out. Glad I don't want any part of this. I thought that it would have faded. And had I been a short seller, I would have covered because I would have cut losses, diligently. But when this fails, if I was a short seller, I would have gotten back in here in the high fours, because this is usually the end all. This is part of the reason why I don't look to trade, and a big part of the reason why I don't short sell, because I would have been wrong covering here for a loss, and then when I re-entered inevitably when the breakout failed, I would have been wrong yet again. Two wrongs do not make a right. So for me, this is why I teach this way. I know it's confusing, but I mean, it makes sense in my head, and that's really the key. Buying this breakout attempt right in here. What time did I buy? 10:16 a.m. So it was like I actually bought it right here on this candle where it broke this range. It takes me like 30 seconds, a minute to write it out and deliver the alert. Yet another reason why you shouldn't, follow any alerts. I want you to understand my process. But I'm specifically buying it before it breaks the 520. Some people will say, why not wait? Well, it breaks the 520s here for like 30 seconds, comes back down to 510, and then a minute later, 570. So if you're buying a little too late, or, you're like me and you buy and then you want to type it out and people get pissed if, the play is already spiked by the time they get the alert. Oh, here we are again. Same kind of action, right? Where it breaks out, consolidates, and now the question is, can it break the day high? I really wouldn't chase it here. I think that they lured in some short sellers with this fade and with this failed breakout and then this little breakout failure attempt. So I can understand why shorts would want to be in this one. Remember, it's just phase 1, 2. If you look at drugs, phase 1, phase 2 drugs, I mean, it's such a long timeline to develop a drug. And they put out the announcement that they're, doing this new drug because they want to probably raise money. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they do a financing. But look at it now. Beautiful. I'm really glad I like, pushing sleep away because I want you to see this. So I bought this attempted breakout here before the actual breakout. and I said could be fast given short squeeze and likely financing later. So some people say, Tim, how can you buy these crappy companies? They have terrible, fundamentals. They're going to do a financing later on. By the end of this week, it probably could, go to the 4s or the 3s. Shorts aren't wrong. But as I said in the watch list, okay, many shorts are too aggressive, and that opens the door to giant squeezes, especially early in the day. So this pattern fits exactly. Some people were like, why didn't you, put NRBO on your watch list? Well, it was a pre-market winner, but pre-market it was just fading, and it didn't look like it could come back at all. The whole action changed. I mean, I gave my watch list right in here where it's fading, and when it fades like this, 9 out of 10 penny stocks just keep fading. The action changed right here at the market open. You can see clear trend change. Downtrending all pre-market, uptrending, during normal market hours. But then the question is, buying the first spike and then selling when it gets a little toppy, not getting faked out here, not getting faked out here. The third breakout is really the one. And, maybe it's even the fourth one now here at 6-ish. But this is probably my best trade because, again, I'm not looking to trade at all, let alone trade, a second one. I don't like trading a second time because then it's like, am I really trading it because the stock is good or am I trading it because I want vengeance? But this was a really nice attempted breakout, and then it did break out, but then it's hanging here in the 560s. And obviously I didn't know it was going to go to the 590s. I also want to go to sleep in a little bit. Got a long day. When we build these schools and homes and communities, they're not in the city. They're like 3-4 hour drives. So I got a long day, but this is what helps me. I'm trading better right now. It's so crazy to me. Leave a comment below. Say, Tim, I like you jet lagged. Keep being jet lagged. Keep building schools. Keep traveling, because it helps. Me not wanting to trade it made me successful on the first one because I didn't want to hold because, frankly, I wanted to go to sleep right here. But everyone's like messaging me and I got a lot of stuff to do. So I can't go to sleep just yet. I see this fake out, I avoid it. I see this fake out, I avoid it. This time, because I don't want to trade, but as I always say, I will trade if there's a play that's so good I would feel guilty missing it, then I bought. And, I bought this breakout over the highs here in the 525 area. So these are all estimated. I'll look later, my exact averages. But long story short, buying in the low 5s, selling in the mid 5s. Plenty of volume, plenty of opportunity, plenty of time. A lot of what you guys are doing is just missing the proper mindset. This is why I go after, other chat rooms and communities where they're like sitting by the computer all day. They post their, 5 or 10 or even 15 stocks that they trade, and they're just grinding. And if you do that, you're not going to be able to avoid, breakouts like this. Or fake outs like this. You're not going to be able to avoid fake outs like this because you're looking for opportunity, and you know that this kind of a candle, if it succeeds, like AUVI a few weeks ago, it's not just going to fail at 520-ish down to 470-ish, so, 50 cents a share dip. This thing could spike $1 or $2, especially earlier in the week. But because I wasn't looking to trade, I avoided this. Some people are like, how do you know which ones to avoid and which ones not to avoid? I don't want to trade. I want to go to sleep. And that's why, some people say, Tim, you have to have 100% focus to trade. I can't believe you're telling people with jobs or school or busy lives that they can trade. On the contrary, I think that if you are busy, you'll do better if you actually follow the rules. This was really a nice and easy, nearly $1,000, and now, would have been over 1,000, but I don't care. Like I said, I'm tired. Like I said, I think this company does a financing, so by the end of the day, whoever's shorting here will probably be okay. But if they don't do a financing, it could keep going to the 6s or the 7s. So I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't count on a financing, and I wouldn't chase it. But I will come out of my self-imposed trading retirement for plays like this. And it's pretty cool, just a few $100 a day, but it adds up. So leave a comment. Let me know if you're watching NRBO. Also, congrats on MINM. This was also a very simple, easy breakout from the morning highs. Same level, roughly, 515-ish. But this one's a little choppier, But if I had traded, I would have bought this breakout probably would have made like 20 cents a share. Then, this breakout right here, probably making like 20 or 30 cents a share. There's just not much meat on the bone. I know this one is up more in terms of dollars, but I need better breakouts. And I'm just going to watch this here for a second. Let's see if we can get another breakout or, more likely a failure on camera. It's 10:38 a.m. Eastern where I'm filming this, so heading into no man's land of 11 a.m. Although, we've had some midday breakouts, but the more breakouts it has, the more, weak breakouts. It's not just going to, shoot up to like 7, right now, most likely. And like I said, it's probably going to fade. This is probably best case scenario. That's why I look to trade at the open. It helps if you're traveling and you want to go to sleep. It helps if you're busy. But there are opportunities galore, whether it's NRBO, MINM, or even CMND actually had a better breakout over the highs. Look at this. This is CMND, also all alerted by Stocks to Trade breaking news. You got to really, have them on your watch list. But you can see here, pre-market highs was 190. Really choppy, all the way down to 150s. But, you buy this breakout here at 190, flip it at 210, 222. Did it get to 230? No. 210, 230, 210, 220. You can probably hear that I'm exhausted. But, you can lock in like 10% there. So 10% upside there. MINM, you buy the breakout here, maybe like 10%. Nothing huge, NRBO, nothing huge either, but locking in gains. Leave a comment. Let me know if you watched or traded NRBO or the other ones too. I got to sleep.